to do another tag video. Reading Retroperspective Tag. This tag was originally created by Dancing Alone, and I will link the video down below. In this tag, the questions concern the books that we read in 2019. Because I did a series of end-of-year videos for 2019, in this tag, with the exception of one book, I'm going to talk about the books that I didn't talk about in those videos. The first question is, which book you read this year would you recommend to anyone and why? I would recommend The Wizard of Oz by Frank L. Baum, because it's a middle grade story. It's mainly fantasy genre. It's also a book about travel, and it includes the themes of friendship, courage, kindness, and many good qualities in a very engaging story. That's why I would recommend The Wizard of Oz to anyone who likes to read. The second question is, which book you read this year has taught you something new? I'm going to talk about The Troublemaker by Leah Remini for this question. Before reading this non-fiction memoir, I had no idea about what Scientology was. But after reading this book, I learned many both negative and positive things about Scientology and how it functions. The third question is, which book you read came just at the right time you needed it? Romancing the Duke by Tessa Dare. It's a historical romance book. And I was feeling a bit bored by the serious topics that I have read during that time of year. I was so moved for a historical romance, and this book is one of the best historical romances that I have read so far, and it's also very funny, which lightened my mood between all of those serious and hard-hitting themed books. Question 4. Which book you read this year will stay with you for a long time? I'm going to say 1984 by George Orwell. This book was a very good dystopian book, but in addition to this, because it was so relatable to this age, I felt a bit scared actually. This book has made me reevaluate some of the things that are currently happening in our society and in the world as well. I became aware of the dangers that we are facing. I think I will never forget 1984 and how it impacted me. Question 5. Which book we read this year expanded your reading horizons? In example, new genre, new author, theme, style, format. Before 2019, I hardly used the audiobook format for reading books because as a non-native English speaker, and I mostly read in English, it was hard for me to really concentrate on the book. And I'm also a visual learner, so it was really hard for me to understand the books that were not in my native language by just listening to them. But after trying some middle grade classics and some audiobooks in Turkish, I found that I could also read books in audiobook format. And although the percentage is not very high, only 21 out of 111 books, but it's still a progress considering that I had read a total of maybe 3 books until that year in audiobooks. 2019 has been the year that I've actually started using audiobooks. Question 6. Which bookish things did you particularly enjoy doing, purchasing and using this year? I bought this bookmark, cat-shaped bookmark, from a coastal town in Izmir. I'm going to show how I use it with this paperback. I can use this like this, or if I want to do it, or like this, or like this. So I really enjoyed this cat bookmark, and I want to purchase more like this. And when I go there again, I think I will buy the bicycle shaped, dog shaped, and flower shaped ones as well. I did not know that they would be so practical when using for bookmark, and it's also very pretty, as you can see. Oh, this was my favorite Bookish purchase. Question 7 is my favorite question of this tag. Who are some booktubers, subscribers, or other Bookish friends that you got to know better this year through watching, comments, personal contact online, or in real life, or otherwise? I have 3 categories for this question. First of all, I'm going to talk about my real life experience. As I mentioned in many of my videos, I met Krista when she came to visit Turkey, Izmir, in July, actually in the day of my birthday, and we met with her. We talked about, of course, books and things like that, and she said, "Berna, why don't you do a channel? I think you can do it." And I was considering at that time to do it in Turkish, and she said, "Why not do it in English? If you can't do it, you can do it in Turkish." And I was so encouraged by her motivational speech. And I started my channel only a month after that conversation. And in the second category, I have 3 buddy reading friends. First of all, I read Bear Town with Veronica from We Read Our Rambles. It was a very fulfilling buddy reading experience. Although we were disappointed by the book, Veronica was much more disappointed. But knowing her with this buddy read and how we connected with our messages, it was such a wonderful experience for me. And the second buddy read that I did in 2019 was with Marissa at Marissa Curtis, and we read Truly Madly Guilty by Liane Moriarty. We were actually very good friends even before buddy reading, but with buddy reading experience we enjoyed it so much with Marissa, and it was a wonderful experience again. And I got to know her better by that experience as well. Last buddy read that I did was with Natalie from One Sleepy Reader. I also knew her from the comments, but with this buddy reading experience, I got to know her better and how she thought about the books. And at the risk of repeating myself, I'm going to say I also enjoyed this buddy reading experience with her as well. And I want to do more buddy reads with all of you, actually, because I found out that I love buddy reading. And the last category belongs to the booktubers and commenters that I've made since I started my channel. And I'm going to read from the notes in order not to skip anybody. I'm going to link all of these people's channels down below as well. I became friends with Emily, Chastity, Vanessa, Gaia, Tia, Julie, Nikki, Clint, Shigofatso. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, dear. Elizabeth Ann, Jan, Roxy, Sarah from Sarah Hearts and Books, Lori, Sarah from Steeped in Books, Lizzie Faye, Sharon Riddler, Linda, Rainey, Victoria James, and another Sarah from Mama Cannon Reads, Naomi, Alba, and Jane Knight. I'm sorry if I failed to mention you. All of my friends are so dear to me and has made 2019 a wonderful experience for me. The best part of launching this channel has been all of you, all of my friends. Thank you. I love connecting with you all. Thank you very much. The 8th question is, what booktube videos did you particularly enjoy this year? I'm going to talk about three recent video series that I watched in December. There was 12 Books of Christmas exchange between Krista from Books and Gems, Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, and Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. This book series, they sent 12 books each to the other two booktubers. And I've got many recommendations from their selection, because I have been subscribed to those three booktubers for a long time, and I really enjoyed their taste in books, so I got many recommendations from them. Another Books Exchange video series has been the series in Books in Inks and Papers channel, where she did Bookish things exchange for 25 items. They were not all books, but they were all bookish related items. And she did this exchange with her daughter, and their reactions and the things that they found with each other as a mother and daughter was very sweet. And in some videos I felt teary-eyed. I really enjoyed the mother-daughter exchange. And the last video series that I've enjoyed watching was in Claudia's channel, Spinster's Library. She did book recommendation videos for 25 days again. She recommended 25 books from many different genres, many different age ranges, and many different languages actually. She recommended some books in German as well. If you haven't watched Claudia before, her reviews of books are fantastic in my opinion. And the books that she recommended that I read were the books that I enjoyed very much. So I noted all of the ones that I didn't read. I can also say I enjoyed watching almost all of the end of year videos and most of the Vlogmas videos as well. That's why I am so behind on watching those videos. If you see my comment in a 10 days video, please don't be surprised, because that's the situation that I have with my watch later list. I think as of right now I have 222 videos still to watch, but I want to watch them all, even if I watch them late. Please forgive me for those late comments. And question 9 is, did you discover a new all-time favorite book? For this question, I had to include Wonder by R.G. Palacio. It was my favorite book of 2019. It was a wonderful, emotional, lovely middle grade book. And the last question is, tag your favorite bookish people. I'm going to mention for friends that I haven't tagged before. And they are Sarah at Sarah Hearts Books, Catherine at Jane Catherine on Books, Alba at Seriale, and Naomi at Naomi's Bookshelf. If you want to do this tag, you may consider yourselves tagged. Please comment down below on any of the questions you want to answer if you do not want to do this whole tag. Also would like to know if you added a new favorite book in 2019, like I did with Wonder. As usual, please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, since this cat bookmark was my favorite bookish purchase of the year, I thought the word of the day should be cat. Cat means kedi in Turkish, and kedi is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.